Good day, everyone. Welcome to another diary session. This is my immigrant diary, and my name is Precious.
And my name is Wale. Today we are going to be talking about something interesting. We're going to be talking about the credit card, and we want to talk about a card that is ideal for most immigrants when they first move to the US. We want to clarify by saying there are a lot of options out there and several ways that we can do it, but this is a card that we have experience with, or at least I have experience with, and I'm happy to recommend the card to everyone. The card is the Discover It credit card. There are
Oh,
two versions. There is the secured card, which kind of works similar to something we'll talk a little bit about in a minute. But like this version is not the secured one, but it's the other option where you're able to get a lot more credit limits. Um, so yeah,
all right, great. So I recently opened my a bank account. If you've been following our channel, you would I figured out that myself and Wale landed in the US year 2022. If you're watching this in the future, um, but Wale got to the US before a couple of months before I moved to the US, and in trying to open in trying to open a bank account in one of the old generation banks, I wanted to open. I requested for a credit card. While interestingly, it was pre-approved, but under the condition that I needed to deposit, I think $200 and build my credit over a period of time, I think around 6 months. Um, where by that time they would return, I think maybe $200 if I show um, if I'm responsible in the way I use my credit card. But until you and I talked, you mentioned your experience and you talked about, Discover, right?
yes.
Yeah.
So the Discover has a lot of advantages. A lot of products rather, like most credit card offering companies. They also offer something similar to what you have, what you're using. I just described I think the technical term is called it's secured credit card. Basically, it means that like you put your money in it and then you
Okay.
use the card.
Oh,
Our money you put in it is what the limit is gonna be for that card.
okay.
So yeah, that's how secured card works. And that's great for beginners, but like what's even better is a card where you can not only have a much higher credit limit, typically like the for me, when I open my Discover It credit card, that's I got like $1,000 credit limit, and that's
Oh, okay.
more than what a lot of people can really afford when they first move. So
Yes.
so yeah, so it's got a lot of benefits too. Like you get like cash back, like what I think it's 1% cash back on everything that you buy, and then every quarter they have like 5% cash backs that you can earn on different vendors. I think this current quarter is on digital stores like Amazon. You can earn that 5% on it. So in the
Okay.
past I've earned 5% on gas, 5% at Target. Target is a popular like store here. So you can earn even, yeah, as you're earning each year, as you're using the card, you're even earning cash back, and you don't pay
Oh,
any annual fee for
oh,
this card. And
that is perfect. I mean, I just
yeah, it's
moved.
a great card.
I just moved. I do not have I've not started working. I don't have a job right now. So being having to pay any fee is not something I want to do. So I like the fact that you said, it's a $0 fee. Awesome. So, you know, I know you forwarded me the email. You forwarded me an email, and I would like to state that this is not a sponsored post. This is just volunteered information that we believe will be useful for new immigrants who need a credit card and can start building their credit, because that's what I'm trying to do. So I'm
Yeah.
a clean
Yeah.
slate, and so this is my example, and this is our example, and this is a story. This is diary session. We're sharing a view of this. So I would go into the email, I would look at it, and I'll share with you as I go through the process of signing up for the Discover credit card. Note, it is not a sponsored post, I'll mention again. And
Yeah.
so we'll just move right into it, right? Okay.
Yeah. Let's just get right into it.
All right then. I would share my screen so we can follow as I proceed. So this is me going on to try and share my screen. Okay. All right. So, aha, you can see Adewale's name is up here. So Wale this forward me, the link to sign up. So I'm going to try to apply so you can follow as well. So I think it's pretty straightforward. Um,
Yeah, it should be pretty straightforward.
yeah, because when I applied for the card for a card at the bank that I opened an account with, yeah, it was pretty straightforward. So it says starts a new application. Okay, so continue application. Okay, this is, referral. Okay, so what do we have here? So it says apply in a minute, you can
Yeah.
get $100 statement credit. So this is to support one another. I'm going to sign up with the referral link from Wally. So I think Wally, we're going to do the same thing with our viewers, right?
Yes. So if you want to support the channel, we're going to leave a link for you to sign up below. So please use that, to support the channel. But on this page, the first thing that you have to do is basically pick a card that you want. This is for me, it's a
Oh,
perk that I really liked when I first signed up. So you can pretty much choose any color. As you move on, you can customize your card for you if you want. But you will pick a card, you enter your information, your name, your
okay.
address, date of birth,
So
etc.
I mean, I'm signing in, putting in my information. So for data privacy, I would run you through the information that is required. I will not be imputing my information. So well, I'll just proceed. So this is my first name, middle name. It's optional if you don't. I use my middle name, so I will impute that. Last name, suffix, um, address. The beautiful thing with the system is as soon as you type in your address, it would. I think it's already inbuilt. It would suggest add your address to you anyway. Putting your zip code, state. Then if it's not your mailing address, if you click on no, then you will need to put in a separate mailing address, right? Putting your date of
Mm-hmm.
birth, employment status, if you are employed full-time, part-time, retired. For the most part, you could fit into any of the category as an immigrant, actually. So pick the one that fits you. That's okay. And also your monthly rental, or if you own a house, you put in the value, and also total gross income and your email. So gross income is your annual income in this case. You put in your email address. Now you can read the terms and condition. Um, Nothing ambiguous about it, but you can go ahead and read all of it. And if you like, you can print the important information. You can see the first thing is 0% intro APR for 15 months from the date of account opening. So this is a beautiful. This is just amazing that this Discover is providing all of this information. Okay, so I'll click on agree, and okay, so you're required to click on it 3 different times because there are several terms that you're required to agree to. So then I click on submit. Now, when you click on submit, what will happen next will be that it will require you to hold on for about 60 seconds while it checks the information, verifies that you are qualified, yeah, while it verifies your data. Now, when it does that,
Yeah.
what you most likely get is what I got. Okay. So, okay. Wally, I remember where I just got approved for a $1,500 credit limit, right? Line. But
Yes.
you mentioned you got $1,000, correct?
Yes. So when I did my application, I got $1,000 credit line, or credit limit. Um, Actually, credit line is a
Is the right
actual
word,
word.
yeah.
So
Right line.
a credit limit is a combination of all the credit lines that you
Yeah.
have. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah. So I got like 1,500. Sorry, I got 1,000, and for me, I was more than happy because the goal was for me to build my credit. But it looks like, they maybe it's because I did a recommendation or whatever, like, but
Oh,
they
probably,
suggest getting,
yeah. So that is
yeah,
probably, yeah, that's also probable because yeah, you did the referral and I got 1,500 credit line. So please support the channel and you probably will get an increase in your credit line um
yeah,
as well. But this is
yeah.
great. This is amazing. I'm excited. Um this is my first credit line. The one from the traditional bank I earlier mentioned um require me to deposit $200, which I am yet to do because I heard about the Discover credit from Wally, and I told him to share with me, and we're going to share with everyone on the channel. And we hope that this information will be useful to you, and will also support you as you find your way around in the US. Um, but that's not all, right? So one of the recommendation, Wally, when we were discussing earlier, before we came online, was that it
Mm-hmm.
will be good to be able to build your credit, right? You had a suggestion, right? Something about if you what was it again? If you suggested multiple
Uh,
cards, what would you
yeah.
recommend for someone like because I'm following your lead in this case, and I would like to
Yeah.
share with our viewers.
Yeah, so your credit score is one of the most important financial aspects of your life in the US. So you want to be very diligent with it. As soon as you get it, there are several things you should be aware of, including not spending beyond 30% of the credit line or your credit limit. That means that like your credit score will be growing steadily if you don't do that. Plus, including paying off your balance in full. That's something I'm doing personally. I pay off my balance in full every month, and my credit score keeps growing slowly. But the strategy I wanted it to use when I moved here was to basically get two credit cards, like two entry-level credit cards, which is exactly the kind of credit card that you actually have right now, the
Yep,
Discover
yep,
and the
yep,
traditional
yep, yep.
one. So, so my goal was to get those two credit cards and help me learn the ropes, help me learn everything I need to know about how to use credit, how to be careful, how to build my credit strategically. So it's pretty straightforward. If you have like two credits, it means like you have two trading lines, and your credit score is going to be growing. Instead of if you getting like 1 point, you get like 2 or 1.5 points when you have like multiple credit lines. And the more credit lines that you have, the faster your credit score is going to be growing. So it is not unusual for you to find people with like 50 credit cards or even things
Wow.
like that. People that are
Wow.
really working on their credit card
Wow.
aggressively. So
That's
I
really
mean that's
aggressive. That's
it.
next level. I mean, I'm not thinking like that right now, but that's next level. Like 50 credit
Yeah,
cards, that is
yeah,
next level.
yeah,
But it takes a lot of
yeah. That's
discipline, right? To, you
yeah. It
know,
takes a lot of discipline.
takes
You
a
have
lot
to
of
be
discipline.
careful
Yeah. Because
not
you
to
can easily go get into bad credit, like bad debt and bad
exactly,
credit actually,
exact,
So yeah.
exactly.
But my thinking right now is, I'm off on a great start, and I'm also gonna say that I mean, there are there are options out there. We intend to also provide additional information as we go along. We promise to create additional content on credit cards and also advice on how we're doing, especially as we're making progress. I'm going to come again to share how I've made and I've built my credit my points, because at the moment I do not have any, but I'm going to share.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm going to share the progress I've made and how I manage my credit cards and how I spend on them and how I repay them, and also all of the learning, so that I am every new immigrant intending, or even those who are of living in the US for a while, will be able to learn from it.
yeah. Yeah, so for me so far it's been a great learning experience. I've made some mistakes along the way, but like
In such a
that's why you're here.
in such a short time, you have made mistake.
Yeah.
No, but I mean,
Yeah.
do you mind sharing maybe any tips, or would you like to share some of the mistakes to enable our viewers avoid such mistakes, so that immigrants like us will avoid such mistakes?
Yeah, so what the one of the main mistake that I made was basically I spent beyond one main mistake I made is to spend beyond 30% of my credit limit of my credit, yeah, of
Credit.
my credit limit. So, and it wasn't intentional. Interestingly, I wanted to spend below 30%, but like for some reason I miscalculated the how the credit your credit is calculated, your credit balance is calculated such that like it went beyond 30%, and my credit score just dropped like crazy as a matter of fact, dropped like crazy for the next 2 months.
Wow.
So I had to learn that the hard way. So right now, my personal like principle is that I'm never using beyond 10% of my credit limit. If I have $200 on a card, I'm never using beyond $20 on it. If I have 1,500 on a card, I'm never using beyond $150 on it. The goal is not to is for me to help me discipline myself not to get up to that point any longer, but also for me to focus on the things that I actually need. So that's when you are able to that's one of the trick to not getting in debt, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
buying
Yeah.
what you actually need, what you
Yeah.
use on a daily basis, and not just because you have the money, you're just spending it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's
All right, thank you so much for sharing that, Wally. That's very useful. And also the fact that even though you have your advice not to spend above 30%, but you have chosen to discipline yourself from your mistake to spend not more than 10%. And I believe this is very useful information to our viewers. Please like, if you like this content, if you like to support this channel, please um like this video, click on subscribe, and support the channel. All right. Okay.
yeah,
Thank you so much.
yes.
It's been an amazing time. We'll come back to you with all the content. Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.